Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello Miss Dia, I'm Anissa Namira from 6th semester. I would like to tell about explanation of mid-test constructive and error analysis. Well, this is the first slide, is the questions of constructive analysis. It has 5 questions and I will answer in the next page. This is the first question. In your opinion, in what way can constructive analysis help language teachers? So explain it. Well, actually, constructive analysis can help teachers to first is facilitate communication and correct an error. So as a teacher, we correct the pronunciation or the sentence structures of the students, and also CA can help us as a teacher for designing teaching and learning materials, for example methodology, and then use the second language or target language fluently and appropriately, also engage learner in activity to be a good user of target language. So this is we as a teacher must be fluently than the students. Lessons for evaluate textbooks and pay attention to the structure of the sentence, also in conversation with different situation. And the last is identifying the grammatical system or categories in the two language. To find some phoneme differences between Bahasa Indonesia and English and give several examples. So actually there are many differences between English and Indonesian phoneme. For example, I give this two table. This is English vowel and Indonesian vowel. So why Indonesian vowel is cut with strip? Because there is no vowels in Indonesian where say that. For example, in English vowel is a, e, u, a, u, o, and e. For example of the word is a for gut and a as bat or trap, and e as see, and u as nurse or learn, and a as start, and u is blue, and c is book, and is about. So there are some vowels with a little bit longer durations in English, but in Indonesia never say that. For example, to, task, and beach. So we as an Indonesian never explain a word like di mana. It is like interrogative, but we also say that in shorter duration. Some word in English define different meaning if it's pronounced wrong. Some word might have very contrast meaning once it's pronounced incorrectly, and the problem occurs for Indonesian speakers do not recognize long monophthong vowels, and so that they are not familiar to the sounds. Ya, jadi untuk orang Indonesia sendiri itu merasa asing atau aneh ya jika beberapa kata itu dalam bahasa Inggris itu disebutkannya itu dalam long vowel, ataupun misalkan kita biasanya memang menggunakan short duration of a vowel or consonant. Well, English has sound as in think and they, but in Indonesian doesn't. And also English has the sound ch in all positions, but in Indonesian doesn't have them in final position. For example, in English, change, and adjust. So we never say in Indonesia, for example, cinta jadi cinta, and also baju jadi baju. So we never say that. We also say it's cinta and baju. And also this is English verb have inflection in the simple present tense, but Indonesian verb don't. Or maybe I would like to say it Bahasa Indonesia doesn't have a plural suffix which is comparable to the English, for example s or es. And this is the example in English: he plays, she plays, I play, they play, and we play. But in Indonesia just change the pronoun. For example, dia bermain, saya bermain, mereka bermain, dan kita bermain. Jadi tidak ada penambahan kata suffix, plural suffix di Indonesia. The answer of number 3, the differences between English and Indonesia in forming and using singular and plural nouns. Well, in Indonesian, there are no article. For example, an, or the, but using cardinal number. In Indonesia singular is satu buah apel. In English is an apple. In Indonesia plural 4 buah apel, and in English is 4 apples. So we can see the differences here. Satu buah apel atau sebuah apel, so it using one or satu apple. But in English we don't say one apple, just an apple or a glass. And also in Indonesian plural 4 buah apel, we using number in front of the text. In front, like 4 is 4 apples in English. But in English, so in the end of the apple, we using as the article, so it means more than one apple, so we using as. And also another example is satu gelas in Indonesian singular, but in English is a glass. So we can see the differences here. So it's different with an apple, but in glass is using a. Why? Because it's consonant. If there is a vowel, it using an. And in Indonesian plural is 6 gelas, and in English plural is 6 glasses. So we using es because the in front of or the end of the word is s, glass, is consonant. So this is singular and plural. Well, English use hyphens to form adjective and nouns from differing words, compounding them with the combined meaning. For example, cooking oil with strip. But in Bahasa Indonesia or Indonesian language uses hyphens for repetition of the same word. Yeah, we can see here plural maker is in Indonesia is banyak, but in English more complex. Banyak it means many, much, lots of, plenty. So what is the differences? In English, many is something can countable, and much is something that uncountable. But in Indonesia it's the same. We only say banyak. This is the example. Many students don't get in the school, but in Indonesia banyak murid yang tidak masuk sekolah. And also the singular and plural for people. In Indonesia singular, we for example is siswa, and in plural we using para siswa. Another example is para hadirin. And in English singular we using the word is only student, and plural just add the s at the end, students. And in Indonesia, I said before, is using hyphens in adjective, reduplicate adjective. For example, buku is singular and book is singular. But in plural, in Indonesia sometimes using double word is buku-buku, and in English just only put the s at the end of the word. Translate these sentences into English and give explanation about the differences between the two languages. In Indonesian, it doesn't have a gender in the context. For example, ambilnya di mana? So it means the context is money, but we are not using subject. Yeah, for example, ambilnya di mana? For me, she said for me, or he said for me, or for someone else. So in English, it will be, where do I get the money? Where do I, me, will take the money or get the money? And then B, rambutnya bagus ya. The context is male idol. So here we can see the object, or we say that the hair in English is in the end of sentence. In English will be, he's got nice hair. So but in Indonesia, he is just nya. We also say that in informal situation, in conversation. So she is, filmnya membosankan. In English is, the movie was so boring. So we don't need the context of the movie. Jadi untuk filmnya sendiri itu tidak berlaku kapan saja waktunya. Misalkan filmnya yang kemarin atau apa, itu kita hanya mengatakan bahwa filmnya membosankan. And D is, makannya yang banyak ya. So in English will be, eat a lot. Just kalimat perintah. And the last is, larinya cepat sekali. The context is a female runner. So is-nya itu sudah termasuk dalam kata ganti pronoun. Jadi larinya cepat sekali ya. Tuh, so in English will be, she runs very quickly. This is the last number, the term of address. So here the tables is bahasa Indonesia and also English. In bahasa Indonesia there are many contexts. For example, bapak or ibu lapar, it means, are you hungry? And another is Pak Roni or Bu atau Bu Dewi lapar. And adik atau kakak atau mbak atau mas lapar. And the last is, Susan lapar ya. So all of these sentences, it mean, are you hungry? Why we say that in Indonesia? So in Indonesia culture, addressing older people and Indonesian never use you or kamu, and it's replaced to bapak or ibu or others. So it is to respect the older people, but in English those terms are not used, just only use you. And also for example, this is sometimes it followed with the person's name. For example, Bapak Ahmad lapar atau Ibu Siska lapar. And also, what is the meaning of Mbak or Mas in Indonesia? So in Indonesia, Mas is the Javanese language. It means the older brother, but Mbak is the older sister in Javanese language. Why we say that? For example, at the restaurant all over the town in Jabodetabek, or especially in Jakarta, so we see Indonesian raising a hand to get the attention of a male waiter while calling out "mas mas." So this is actually this word from Japanese. Why? Because there are many Japanese working in Jakarta, also that develop a habit of addressing all younger men work in a shop or a restaurant. We just calling mas or mbak. And this is the second is Anda sudah lapar, or Bapak sudah lapar, or kamu sudah lapar dek. So it mean in English is have you had lunch or have you have dinner. So it's the same. We using you in English, but in Indonesia using another word. For example, Anda, Bapak, or kamu. So here we can see Anda and kamu. What is the differences? Anda is more formal than kamu, and also Anda is using in a formal situation and in public. Also for the strangers and for the someone in the business, and but kamu is more informal than Anda, and kamu using for the daily conversation with friends or with a family. This is the end of my explanation about constructive analysis. I hope it can be understood by Dia, and thank you for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.